Hello everyone, welcome back. Faith, Liz, Raptorus, it's good to see y'all, even if it's bit of a... seems like a bit of a tired Wednesday. Hello Jakista, Space Nerd, going. Good to see y'all. How's everyone doing today? Feeling good? Alex, it's good to see you too. Whew. Pretty good? Alright. It's a Thursday for you. Well, same difference. Same tune, different day. Hurrah! So, where even to start? I suppose acknowledging that last Sunday stream ended somewhat abruptly when my game crashed. Another day, another historic event unfold. Oh gosh. That's also an important spot to begin, huh? And Faye, thank you for the 2-1 gift sub to Jakista. Jakista, hope you enjoy all the emotes. So, we'll acknowledge the historical event soon. That was the game crashing was hilarious. The actual Necronomicon got us instantly. We picked it up. My game chugged. My game crashed. So hopefully I don't have to pick it up again. Hopefully it's not just in my inventory and I just don't have to think about it. But yes, to everyone just tuning in, I'm Adam. Welcome to Little History. I am a professional historian. I have degrees in medieval history and cultural heritage, and so we've been playing through Assassin's Creed Mirage and taking a look at how they're making a playable past, which has been a lot of fun and real good. And we have gotten extremely distracted. Pretty much every stream we've gotten distracted by at least something. Whether that's looking up dessert recipes from the Abbasid Caliphate, or taking a look at folktales, or getting bamboozled by how many Persian polymaths have the same name. It's been a good time. So if you enjoy that, make sure you hit the follow button to be notified for all of our historical content, because we do a lot of different historical games around the chat. And if you want to support us further, you can look at subscribing here on Twitch, or if you're watching the VOD on YouTube, or heading over to patreon.com/littlehistory in order to support us further for as little as $2 a month. It is the best way to support the channel. Patreon takes about 10%, while Twitch takes about 50%. Of what you give me. So, you know, if you want to help support the channel, that's one of the best ways to do it. Anyway, now. Living through historic events. I've been struggling all day with how to kind of approach this, but what's been pretty clear is that what's unfolding in the Gaza Strip right now is an attempt at ethnic cleansing, and it is horrifying beyond description to see the catastrophes unfolding there, provoked by itself a horrific attack, but escalated by war hawks in the Israeli government and around the world. And one of the core principles of Islamic faith is that of almsgiving. And so I encourage everyone to also, if you can, consider donating to humanitarian organizations such as the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund, whose link I'm going to drop in chat here. because they are a credible charitable organization that is assembling humanitarian resources to provide material and psychological support to the populations that have been displaced and traumatized by these events. And so after stream, I'll be making a donation to that, and I encourage everyone, if you can spare it, to consider doing the same. Because it is deeply important to help care for others and to participate in that almsgiving and turning, you know, appreciation for the beauty of Islamic culture into action to help Muslims in a moment of crisis. Of course, Liz, it's a good point. The PCRF is assembling materials, humanitarian materials, on the very edges of Gaza, though they cannot always get them inside the borders due to blockades. But hopefully, international pressure will allow that in soon, and having resources ready to go is going to be really important, whether it's for refugees managing to get out of Gaza or humanitarian organizations being allowed back into Gaza. Alright. So, yeah, it's been tough, right? It's tough to feel like there's anything that can be done because of, you know, how fast things have moved and how horrific the news has gotten day by day in the midst of a half a dozen other global crises in Sudan, in Ukraine, political unrest and threats of violence in the United States. It's tough, and there's not a lot of direct action that can be performed safely, and there's not a lot of direct action that can be performed with any guarantee of success. So, enabling those who have a track record of that work is really important. Jakista, please don't jinx it. I don't think I can take another... I don't think I could take Balkans Crisis 3. Like... We need... peace, and we need time to deal with one horrible crisis at a time. Because, oh boy. Turns out I don't like living in a period of global unrest. And I really don't like, when the Israeli government uses aggressively fascistic rhetoric. I really don't like that. And I really don't like when the US uses increasingly fascistic rhetoric, and I don't like when Hungary continues to use quite fascistic rhetoric. None of it's good. Not a fan. Not having a good time. So, it has been not a fun week. And I'll be honest, I don't know. I don't know what comes next, and I don't know how to actually help. So The plan is, that we're going to dive into some history, and we're going to take a look at cultural history more than military history, because that's what the game's interested in. And we're going to use this as potentially a chance to have a bit of a mental break from the doom scrolling and from the bad news. And we'll recharge by remembering some of the joyful sides of history and culture. And we can come back rejuvenated and donate to good causes to try and make things... try and help where we can. Sound like a plan? You walked into something sad? Well, it's been one hell of the 10 days. So... We gotta acknowledge it. And once again, right, if you want that link again, we'll post that regularly throughout the stream, but if you want to... well, I didn't set this up as like a charity stream. I still want to encourage people to donate if you can. Okay. So, with that out of the way, what do you think we hop into the game here and start off by praying that horrible eldritch gods beyond the ken of mortal souls have stopped cursing us? Sound good? I still can't believe the Necronomicon caused my game to crash. It was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful moment. Alright. Let's do it. First order of business, get the book to the library and uncurse yourself. Well, first order of business is make sure that we still have the cursed book. That is a yes. That is a... I think that is a yes. That the last thing we picked up is the Kitab al-Azif, the Book of the Dead, or the Necronomicon. We love fictional Arabic books. Please, if the game crashes again, I'll be so mad. I'll laugh, but I'll be so mad. It's hilarious. So yeah, to anyone who doesn't know, basically in the mythos of H.P. Lovecraft, notable, very good horror writer and very terrible human being, the Necronomicon is a book written in Arabic in the Middle Ages, supposedly taken from the House of Wisdom. Chat, no. I'm hearing at least one report that it's frozen. Yeah. Notably, one of the notable things about what they've done with the Necronomicon, though, is in the original stories, if you know any Arabic, the name of the author of the Necronomicon is just nonsense. That's hilarious. Wait. No. Chat, help me. There's no way! Did it just crash again? Yeah? Yeah, it did. Actually cursed book. Maybe it's the flamingos. Unironically, it might be the flamingos. Um, but that's Adam put the book to. All right, all right, all right. I got understood. We are warping to the House of Wisdom. The Necronomicon wins again. It sure does. Oh, it sure. So we're gonna try again, and we are going to drop the book off in the House of Wisdom immediately, and then we're going to not go out onto those islands. And between those two things, hopefully whether it's the book or the flamingos will take care of it all at one fell swoop, and move on with our day. Right? If it's the flamingos, I mean, that would be even funnier. If it's demon flamingos. Alright. Who needs Lovecraft? True. Who? If you're on the Discord, you've been hearing about, magic nuke Lovecraft penguins with guns recently. And, apparently we have flamingos instead. Yeah, I mean, what part of my summary was inaccurate? It was in the Games and History channel. We were doing another TTRPG deep dive, where the premise is the Manhattan Project opened a magic portal that ruined lots of things, and the Soviet nuclear experiment turned into Lovecraft penguin overlords. I don't want to warp all the way out there and then, like, have to come all the way back out here separately. But, I'm afraid I may not have much of a choice. Fine. Fine. No, it's fine. Technically, they're not overlords. They show no apparent interest in conquering humans yet. Point taken. That's too precious to simply carry around. Yeah, I noticed. Anyway, what was I saying? They do have a spooky ritual that turns humans into members of the penguin hive mind, though. See? So... what I was saying, oh yeah, is that, if you know any Arabic, the author of the Necronomicon and Lovecraft's actual stories, is Nonsense Arabic. And they did actually correct it to a similar name that is much more in line with how we transliterate Arabic into the Latin alphabet these days. And so, right, they're actually just kind of, they're putting in an Easter egg, but they're just straight up improving the Easter egg in order to be less, you know, like that. Just less capital like capital that. Anyway.
Do you have something for me?
I found this strange book. Does it interest you?
Oh. Do you know what that is? It has many names. I know it as Kitab al-Azim. The Book of the Dead. It is death to all who read it. If you believe the stories. I myself do not. But it will remain on my shelves where it can do no harm.
It's just the ancient Egyptian instruction manuals, right? A monstrous talisman. Now hold up. Talisman featuring the terrifying figure of an ancient eldritch being thought to be a primordial god. Its history is retold by Abdul al-Hazred in his Kitab al-Azif. I mean, yes, we're running around with... Yes, we're about to run around wearing a Cthulhu charm.
Do you have something for?
Not as yet.
Oh, perhaps.
I have all of them, though. Wait, I got all 6 of the Lost Books, didn't I? Lost Books 1. Lost Books 2. Oh. No, there's no Lost Books there. There's 1 Lost Book there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? 2, 3, 4. How weird. Oh, it's just in the palace. Okay. That's good to know. So it's just a reward for that particular book. Yeah, okay. Well, that's totally fine. Still wish I could get up into wherever that is. I want that gear chest. It's continuing to bug me. Oh, it still is up 1 more floor. Wow. And now I'm above it. I see. Well, if I'm doing that, there must be a... Ow. Apparently standing on the fire is a bad idea. I don't know. Seems silly to me. Nonsense names for Arabic in the early 20th century. Avicenna is... Avicenna... long before... long before the 20th century. Like, that is a 14th century of Latinization? '13th century? I think you saw a red break me from up. There is absolutely a red break me up there. Hi, red break me. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. I mean, that did a lot. I just don't know if that lot actually lets me get through. We're going to assume yes, that this door is going to be relevant. Do not enter without permission, but what if I did? Who's got the key? Astronomical library on the 2nd floor. Return it to any librarian at their earliest. Again. I wish I knew where that was. Because, I mean, that is the astronomical library. The eagle actually helps us for this? That's fair. Because there should theoretically be a spot wherein one will see a key. There it is. Hello, key. Oh. Guess I should not, you know, run right at them. Turn around, thank you. Don't worry about me. See? It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. Gotcha, there's just a guy standing up here. Well, yoink my key now. Yank Mikey now. And then, because I've blown stuff up, I dropped a chandelier into the space up there. It'll let me go up through here. Nice and casual like. And get a thing. Well, that was underwhelming. I was expecting it would be something new. Oh well. Having accomplished that, let's go somewhere else and try to not crash the game again. So, to clarify some things for this target thing, which we're still not going to do yet. The Anqa is a mythical Arabic bird. That's one of the various birds in this region, categorized as a phoenix, despite not actually having much in common with it. Despite they're incredibly wise and said to eat elephants. Classic. Yeah, like they prey on elephants. There's lots of birds that do that. The rock is also said to eat elephants. Big fish, and they have really long... So it's just a swan. Right, now I'm just... the world's souped up as swan. Just make everyone have a really bad time. God, imagine how terrifying that would be. Right, swans are scary enough. Exactly. I've been near... I've not had a swan actually attack me before, but I've been near to a pissed off swan. Which admittedly is just also a swan. Yeah, buffing them to be able to take on an elephant is just terrifying. Terrifying news. Don't enjoy it. When are we going? Okay, yeah, we're still heading the right way. Because way down at the end, down here, there's some sort of building. And that's where we're trying to get to. You can understand why I didn't want to warp all the way up there to head all the way back down here. And if it weren't for the fact that this is, that the game was cursed if I didn't do that. Been attacked by a goose before, which is much like a swan but wearing a suit. Kinda goose, yeah. In prehistoric Sicily, they had both very small elephants and very big flightless swans. I don't think I enjoy that news, actually. I mean, on the one hand, small elephants. On the other hand, terror swans. Right? Like... Is there actually... No. Oh, those are snacks. Ah, yes. No. Was that actually... Was that it?
I need your help, my friend.
Oh, just a hut. The only thing that was actually in here was a random hut. Well. Glad we spent all that time. I'll be very sad if chat doesn't know the reference. Hello, Zexar. All right, let's actually go stab this guy, huh? Call is in a mansion west of Kar. Beautiful. Okay. Let's see how close we can get, huh? Fast travel. You see, in Auckland, you have parts of a tiny elephant from Malta, and it's weird having birds that are actually bigger than they were. Well, that is the bet we need. Generally, I'm pretty skeptical about using, prehistoric DNA to reconstruct animals that's, apart from Jurassic Park memes. I think it's, broadly speaking, tends to funnel a lot of resources into sort of high-profile animals rather than ecological keystone species. And I don't love that. But on the other hand, tiny elephants. So I'm torn. I'm torn, chat. Oh, not saying that it's not worthwhile sometimes. Just that, is the Moa going to get
Well met.
recreated
What have you got
first
today?
or kind of resurrected,
Have a look around.
or is the woolly mammoth?
These are always handy. Got some gear to work on? Yes, all right.
Right. Is the long shot wrapped in a dream? Sure, but if you run a Kickstarter, which one's gonna get funded? The Dodo would be amazing, only to make it go extinct again for the irony. Fair enough.
I will be off.
Peace go with you.
Scholars and seekers of truth, the Khalifa seeks to sponsor a new translation of the words of youth. Interested
Chan is also discussing whether Indiana Jones or Heinrich Schliemann is a worse archaeologist, and is coming up with the correct answer, which that is really not a contest. Shoutouts to Heinrich Schliemann? Kickstarting bringing back extinct animals sounds so cursed. Well, yeah. Look, Indiana Jones didn't give the monkeys... Well. True, he took the dynamite from the monkeys. You make a good point. Anyway. Historical digressions, taxes. The Abbasid state relied on taxes in coin or in kind to pay for its numerous expenses. The tax rate depended on the religious status of the taxpayer, with Muslims paying less than their Dini neighbors, a tax that we talked about last stream, known as the jizya. Jizya. Or, I don't remember the Arabic spelling. Whatever. For its types of tax to make the bulk of the Abbasid state revenue, one was levied only upon Muslims, the zakat. It's a voluntary almsgiving prescribed by the Quran as a necessity for any Muslim who could afford it. Around 730, it became a compulsory tax of 2% of someone's total wealth over a certain minimal threshold. Two taxes were levied exclusively upon non-Muslims. The jizya was paid by every free, sane, adult, non-Muslim male residing in the empire. At the beginning of the 9th century, its rate was 48 dirhams for the rich, 24 for the moderately wealthy, and 12 for the poor. It could be paid in kind, including any merchandise, but not in pigs, wine, or dead animals, for probably obvious reasons. Non-Muslims also paid the haraj, a tax on agricultural land. Its rate is unknown, but it must have been higher than the zakat, as not having to pay Haraj was considered an important incentive for conversion. Finally, there was the ushur, a tithe on imported goods paid up by any merchant, male or female, Muslim or non-Muslim. Its rate could vary on the value on which was calculated, value of the day, or fixed value of produce, depending on the time and needs of the government. Its payment was the object of frequent complaint by the empire's inhabitants, and many inmates were sent to prison as ushur debtors. And this is a gold double dinar from the 10th century. This is worth 2 dinars and is about 9 grams of gold.
Where's that damn strap? Itching like wildfire. Need to put some cloth.
The tax collector is due a visit.
Hi, what's up?
What?
You need something? Yee. Nailed it. Style-wise, the coins remind you a lot of the Mexican peso.
Remember you slowly. Hey!
Yeah. I also give it a decent chance that it's not a coincidence. Oh, don't. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. If he just hadn't done that, we would have been fine. These lovely poppy fields are turning into an awful lot of corpse hiding spots. Okay, could you stop, please? The red poppies hide the red uniforms. True. Well, okay, well this is just a murder. This is just a regular murder uniform. There's no hiding that one. I assume it's straight down. Yup. Alongside that, our target. A knife to break open there. And a spot directly above us. Cool. Not so cool. Let's see. What options exist for us? Plenty of stabbing. Good air assassination opportunity there. And the door that I believe is blocked, right? Oh, that door is not locked. Alright. Oh. No, that's incorrect. I'm gonna have to stab this guy in order to do anything, I'm afraid. Sorry, guys. Ooh, I don't think that was a good idea. And thank you, this is an anonymous gifter who gave Nalam a tier 1 gift sub. I super appreciate it. Alright. Yeah, I did throw a knife into the back of that guy's head, and he didn't seem to really mind. So, there's now 2 scary guys looking for me. Well, I suppose there is a solution to this, actually. Target. Target. Nice. Problem solving. Now we got a belt buckle for our trouble. That is such a nice quality of life feature. Just, hey, you're in a situation. What if you weren't in that situation anymore? Is that fair to the AI? No. Do I particularly care? Also no. So one of these guys has a key, right? Out of the 4 of them? Yeah. Yeah. This is fine. This is fine. Are you disoriented correctly? Thank you. Well, sorry, squad. Ow. It just worked.
They should be back with the coin.
Or just to increase taxes. Suhail?
Roll if we do not deliver it. How hard is it to shake the coin from these fools,
Here are the pros tax.
India, China.
Could you stop talking? Foodstuffs 1/10, textiles 1/10, ceramics 1/5. And according to the laws, the union shall pay extra to charge each non-bleeder another 10th on top of the given tax.
Do not get the coin before then.
With the extremely spooky Order of the Ancient Seal.
Orders to increase taxes. More coin trickling into their hands.
So,
There might be more information I can find around here.
there's also a guy I can stab around here, but, you know. That's neither here nor there, it seems. Anyway. What I was going to say is that they do actually try and increase taxes during the historical events of this period. Because it turns out, that's a kind of big deal.
The taxes have been paid.
Turns out that's a kind of big deal. When you are spending extravagantly on Turkish mercenaries to be part of your guard, and using those to immediately go wage war on, you know, other groups of Turkish mercenaries, you kind of need to raise money. And so, right, in very early streams, we've been talking a fair amount about... Okay. I don't hate it. We've been talking a fair amount about the wealth of the of Al-Mutawakkil. Right, like I brought it up a few times, but like cash reserves of several million dinars. By the end of the Anarchy of Samara, the Abbasid royal coffers are... Oh, I do need to mind the investigation. That is a good point. Mercenaries and financial woes, when do those ever happen? No. Sounds fake, right? Coins are becoming scarce. Have you increased the tax like I asked? You might be experiencing a few obstacles. The shipment of perfume is also late. Thought perhaps you're a local, you might fare better than I would, but I've been wrong before. I do not usually send more than one letter about something I want done. I never send a third.
Tax collector does not work alone. Someone not from Baghdad controls the strings. There is a scent on the letter. Perfume. Rose with iron.
Indeed. Anyway, the third... one example of how dire the straits were is that traditionally the wages, I believe, are 10 dinars for the Turkish mercenaries. By the end of the relevant period, they've dropped to 2. Because they had to be cut so much. Let me actually hide in a closet here, see if I can locate the source to get the exact numbers for you. Because, you know, why don't we get economic depression? The Great Light Rise, the Zanj Rebellion. Sorry, it's in my reference document somewhere, but locating it. It's a long reference document. Social structure. None of those. Relevant primary sources. None of those. Important people. Oh! I just didn't export that part of it. I have a section Economic Decline in the 9th century. And I just didn't export it. We love when that happens. Alright, so change of plans. I'll look that up during our first break. And I will relocate the thing I found about it. And we will look at it together then. Well, that's a pretty hefty cut. Yeah. But yeah, I don't wanna say super strenuously, right, what it was 10 of down to 2 of. I remember those numbers, but not the details. So I do want to look that up first, before I talk about it too much. Luckily, we're not that far from our first ad break, so I'll be able to look it up then. Needing to raise mercenaries and the attempt to create slave soldier corps is itself an interesting conundrum deriving from increasing independence of Arabic garrisons. Absolutely. Right, the Abbasids kind of learned this lesson pretty early on, given that they are... Right, they are the military garrisons that... Or the regional garrisons. But, like, they overthrow the Umayyads from their base in Khorasan. Lima Zhub, are you enjoying the game? I am having a great time with the game. It is probably the best Assassin's Creed game I have played. And I've played most of them. And certainly from a historical perspective, right, it is... I am a historian, I'm looking at the history of the game. And so it portrays this period's culture space better than any other game has done its relevant time period. Like, and that's not close. Approved blockade funding. The agreed upon amount was taken from the tax fund for Kark and allowed to supplement the harbor's blockade as
is funded
instructed.
by the coin of the people. I am done here.
The best one, really?
Roshan and Rebecca will be waiting back at the bureau.
What a delight to have you here. Also, can I just say, I love this iteration of Basim. Right, like, he's so charming. And I'm so happy that you got that opportunity and brought him so much to life. It has been a joy. Just look at how vibrant this city is. I have such a good time with it. Anyway, there's a question like, what do I think about this armor? Importantly, this armor does not commit fashion crimes. Everyone we just stabbed. Actually, let me go right back to where we were, because I want to point out once again that these are in fact fashion crimes. Right, because for anyone who did hear this from early on, in the Abbasid Caliphate, the color black is reserved for people attending the Khalifa court or other sort of high-ranking judges, administrators, viziers. And in a military context, it's reserved for kind of senior officers. Standard garb outside is focused mostly on sort of browns and tans, with then some ability. That's mostly... It's not easy to make, but it's not impossible to make either. Gamers Tavern Show. They just have... They have lots of access to materials that can make very dark browns and blacks. But it is still high status, and so reserved for the Khalifa court. And it's... The contemporary descriptions for clothing seem to suggest that outside of it, as long as the military units are not being garish and detracting from good taste and humility, they have some ability to wear whatever they want. So our outfit seems to suggest that we're, you know, this is someone fairly high status. Certainly the term knight is a bit of a choice. But, right, this sort of looks like textile based with then plates bolted on underneath. Very familiar from both Byzantine and Persian styles of sort of heavy cavalry. And so I think overall it's an elaborate but ultimately historically fairly plausible set of armor. Except, you know, maybe less visible straps? I don't actually know. Those straps aren't too egregious. I'll be real. Like, they're fancy, but they're not like, egregiously so. And then we've got Cthulhu on the back of our, thing, just for fun. Don't worry about that part. He's a vibe. We're not at Valhalla belt levels yet. Not even close. Thank goodness. Thank goodness we are not in that. Exactly. I'm excited to find the sword, right? So the Abbasid Knight's sword is one that I think I'm relatively looking for. Because I think that could be another very fun one to look at and kind of... I don't know, if it's like a straight sword, as would be a little bit more period than the big shamshirs, or if it's just a good shamshir. I didn't think we had the Abbasid Knight sword yet. Oh, the Zonj Uprising... Oh, I do have the Abbasid Knight sword. Never mind. That's that weird concave one. Oh no, well, that's the one we've got. Wait. No. Oh, I'm just stuck in a roll so I can't switch. You're right, we did already get that sword. Okay. Yeah, it's not what I was hoping it would be. Let's go back to this one. Straight swords. You did get some armor with skulls on it in Odyssey? This game doesn't have a skull problem. The places where you see skeletons actually make sense for where there are skeletons. It's such a refreshing change of pace.
Our prodigal hidden one returns.
Finally, you found the path back. What do you have for us?
The one we are looking for is a Dimyun, someone out of Baghdad.
You are certain?
I found proof. They were working with the...
Again, that's not what Dimyun means, but that's fine.
The guards to harass and extort coin from the Dimyun. The other seized goods at the docks.
Like, a Chinese merchant is not Dimyun unless they're Nestorian.
But seizing goods?
I think that's a rare L from this game. This game has been really good about being like, you can't beat me. I bring something in, I bring up a complaint, it immediately addresses it.
Up for auction at the Da'irat al-Mal.
But that's just straight up
Official
now.
invitation into the auction. Now we have a way in. Well done.
Our target has to be someone connected to both Al-Anga and Al-Kululu. Someone working closely with the officials.
Informers heard whispers of the Khalifa's treasurer. In recent times, they have been quite involved in the businesses of Kar.
Someone like that will no doubt make an appearance at the Da'irat al-Mal.
We should prepare, so I will scout ahead. Meet me near the souk when you're ready.
Oh
Not a
man.
lot is known about this person. Underestimating your opponent is a fool's folly.
Yeah.
Worried? I will tread carefully.
I think we will tread carefully after we take a quick ad break. Right. I have to look up some stuff. Right, every hour basically we want to stand up and stretch because self-care is important. And I have to look up an article so we can be distracted. Instead of, playing the main quest. We've got to get our tangents in somehow, and since we're finally talking about money, we can talk about the lack of money in the 870s in the Abbasid court. So I'm going to look that up during the ad break, after standing up and stretching. I hope you will all stand up and stretch as well. And if you've been enjoying this, hit the follow button. I shall leave you, as always, with our quest nails. Voila. And some ambient music. And we'll be back very, very soon. Is that a Mustasib? See, I thought the Mustasib was going to be the Order of the Ancients member. They mentioned market inspectors. Let me get rid of this then. They mentioned market inspectors in the codex entries, but we have not seen one as an actual character yet. So seems to be relegated into the fairly bonus material, but I was putting so much money on the idea that the Great Bazaar's Mutasib was going to be the Order of the Ancients target, because it made so much sense. But apparently no, it's just someone much higher up the ranks. So it goes. Anyway, quick ad break, and then we'll return to JSTOR digressions, like usual. Alright, don't go anywhere. Alright, welcome back everyone. I've got several things pulled up now. If you are just tuning in, welcome. I am Adam. I am a trained historian with backgrounds in medieval history and cultural heritage. And we've been playing through Assassin's Creed Mirage. We are about to go assassinate a tax collector, or, sorry, the Caliph's treasurer. But before we do that, we want to look a bit more at tax history, which doesn't sound fun, but I promise in this period is very interesting, because things went, kind of to hell in a handbasket, for the Caliph's finances in this period. So I got a couple of things pulled up, which is great. And then I've got a page so you can see kind of how I went about finding them all. And it's going to be good. Let me also grab one physical book, because I have a couple of those. Where did I put it? Voila. A success. Just because this has a primary translation, so we can emphasize just how ridiculous the finances are as a starting place, and then what happens to them afterwards. So, if you enjoy this sort of historical content, of course, make sure you follow, and if you want to support the channel more, consider subscribing, because all subscriptions, Prime subscriptions, cheered bits, etc., just help us do more history content. Or, you can head over to patreon.com/LitoHistory in order to support the channel for as little as $2 per month. Without further ado, that sentence got away from me. Without further ado, let's hop into some history. Everyone wave goodbye to Basim for the next 45 minutes. He's gonna sit there on the pause menu, staring at us. Goodbye. So, First off, what did I actually end up searching? Luckily, these are all pretty well known. If you know how to navigate Google Scholar, that's pretty easy to locate them. But, so, you know, Abbasid, economic decline, 9th century. You could also say 3rd century, or early 4th century, for if you wanted to use Al-Hijra, so the Islamic calendar, instead. But the one we want to start with is an absolute classic of the genre for us, which is the 3rd century internal crisis of the Abbasids, which is on JSTOR, which means you can access it for free even with a personal JSTOR account. Hooray! It is a very long article. As you can see, it is 26 pages long, or 25 pages long with the title page, but it's kind of important. Anyway, so what are the problems, right? During the century and a quarter following the death of Harun al-Rashid, died in 809, the Abbasids had witnessed both the glory of a golden age and the long descent towards frustrated impotence and humiliation. It is clear that this is from the 1970s. And Packacat, thank you for the follow. Also, Lee, thank you for the follow just before the ad break as well. The first perceptible shake in the foundations was the political fragmentation of the Abbasid dominions. One by one, the various provinces slipped away from the effective control of the Caliph's government, first in regions on the periphery of the empire, and later in districts adjacent to the imperial heartland of Iraq, namely Persia, the Levant, which basically as the Seljuks come under control, the Tahirids become independent, right, by the end of the Buyid period in the mid-900s, or later 900s. Pretty much it's just Mesopotamia proper that's under direct Abbasid control. Anyway, the local dynasties were left in turn to struggle against the threats of other rivals. Byzantium was able to exploit development to advantage, and by the 10th century, the emperor's eastern policy had infused with a new spirit of confident aggression. According to someone from 1929. Even the symbolic unity of the Muslim community was also challenged and broken. An Umayyad in Spain and a Fatimid in Ifriqiya claimed equal rank and honor with the Caliph in Baghdad. Next, the Caliph's viziers were replaced by a series of military adventurers with the rank of Amir al-Umara and the full civil and military authority over all the provinces, in short, the management of the empire. The coup de grace was delivered to the Caliphate by the Dailamite Buyid, Condottiere, who had swiftly established a power base in southwest Persia and brought Baghdad and the person of the Caliph under the control in 945. Additionally, decline of imperial revenues, the part we are actually influenced or interested in. The process of political fragmentation affected the resource of the treasury, although its consequences were more cumulative than critical at any specific stage. By the reign of the Caliph al-Radi, around 930, the creation of the Amorites, tributes, and lavish gifts had largely replaced regular tax revenue from several important provinces. Evidence of declining imperial revenues is clear, although the rate is difficult to chart. Luckily, we charted it anyway. So in 788, the revenue in dirhams is about 480 million. By the end of the anarchy at Samarra, in 869, we're looking at closer to 352 million dirhams. So, a decline of, what, 130 million dirhams per year? And by 915, that has collapsed entirely down to 217 million. Which is, you know, still a lot of money. Still a lot of money, but not a decline of over half in a period of 100 years. Second, the period of greatest decrease appears to have been the latter half of the 3rd/9th century. Some of the decrease during the period could be accounted for the detachment of Egypt under the Tulunids and Khorasan under the Samanids from direct control of the government. But it alone cannot account for the decrease in imperial revenues. So, just Iraq, right? The Abbasid heartland and the most fertile part of the empire, in many ways, has a peak in imperial revenue, of tax revenue, I should say, of 112.5 million dirhams. By 893, that's down to around 75 million. It's a problem, right? So the Abbasid heartland has a drop of also almost of somewhere between a third and a half of its total revenues, and by 915, again, has completely collapsed. Which is a problem. So, what's actually the cause of this? Right, Waynes postulates several things. That there's some environmental crisis in this period that is a problem. The flood season of the Tigris-Euphrates did not correspond beneficially to the crop growing season. As Robert Fernie has put it, no great distance exists between the headwaters of the Tigris-Euphrates and the alluvial plain, thus the flood comes quickly upon, etc., etc. Anyway, at some point in the 9th century, an entire canton of the Sawad of Iraq was turned into swamp either as a result of the shift in the Euphrates or from widespread flooding. With an example given in 897, in lower Iraq, so towards Basra, canals and wells dried up, water prices soared, and people from all over came to Baghdad to pray for rain, according to Al-Tabari. He also, I believe, points out an example in the 870s where the island of Al-Abbasiyya, the Scholars District, according to the game, not in historical reality, but according to the game, completely floods. And that is a problem. There's also the decline of canals that he points out. So, basically, due to political crisis and the spending on the military expenses, they're not investing as Al-Mamun and Al-Musta'in did in... no, not Al-Musta'in, Al-Mutasim. Again, the Al-Mus did in canal projects, especially in and around Baghdad. Adam's study shows that of the archaeological evidence from the mid-9th century, the decline of cultivation and settlement around in Upper Baghdad was not reversed or accelerated. By the end of the Samarran period, 62% of all recorded settlements outside Baghdad had been abandoned. So all those villages we've been seeing, poof, gone. Right, that wasteland narrative the game provides becomes more true. The Nahr Haman Canal gets deliberately breached in 937, and the region is abandoned. So, I mean, that shows a lot of it, right? We see a mix of political decline, right, political authority declining in the exteriors of the empire, and decline of agricultural production due to some social and some environmental practices. And then, right, let's see if he talks about the Zanj Rebellion very much here. Al-Yaqubi, he does acknowledge how much food has to go in to support Baghdad. Because we saw the ruins of Seleucia, right, in the game. But Baghdad is an area 5 times that of 10th century Constantinople, and 13 times that of Ctesiphon, probably about equivalent to Seleucia. So, in some ways, right, that little scale of this little pocket of ruins where we find the Necronomicon and curse the game, is a big deal. I also adore, right, something that really impresses me with this article, is how much it uses ideas that are now very much in vogue in environmental history and environmental cultural studies, that of precarity and resilience. So, right, the point worth underlining here is not how poor the peasantry must have been, but rather how precarious was their substance and how easily within the normative order their right of subsistence could have been denied. So basically paints a picture where 9th century Abbasid politics and social norms create a situation where, yes, there's a massive urban-rural and urban-wealthy, urban-poor, rural divide, but also so many resources are being poured into Baghdad and Samarra that the safety first principles outlined here get completely eroded, and that erosion is exacerbated by military raids during the anarchy at Samarra by especially the Turkish Samarran army, again to try and start out Baghdad. And it's a big problem. Let's look at this. Political disorder and the rural economy. In the year 865, the Caliph al-Musta'in fled to Baghdad to escape the tyranny and factional structures of the Turkish commanders in Samarra. The Turkish Guard immediately set up a rival caliph in the person of al-Mu'taz, who is the one who appears in the game. In the name of al-Mu'taz, they marched upon Baghdad for nearly a year, underwent tribulations only matched by those of the earlier siege during the civil war between al-Amin and al-Ma'mun, in half century earlier. The second siege ended in the capture of Baghdad, the abdication of al-Musta'in, and his assassination later in the same year, due to torture while in prison. Baghdad suffered widespread destruction, especially in its western corridor, which never fully recovered. The year of the siege was notable too for the devastation of many rural districts by troops on both sides for the struggle of power. Al-Tabari, who may have witnessed these events at close hand, reports that during the early fighting in Muharram of 251, so kind of late winter, early spring 865, many villages between Baghdad and Uqbara were laid waste, while the inhabitants fleeing the carnage were slaughtered on the road. Estates were destroyed, fields and goods plundered, cavalry and infantry of one side or the other passed back and forth across the districts of Nahrawan. The district of Al-Anbar, where the game starts, was quite severely hit during the hostilities. The Tahirid supporter of al-Musta'in, Muhammad ibn Abdallah, had dispatched one Nujuba to the town of Al-Anbar with orders to hold it against the enemy. Upon hearing the approach of the opposing Turkish contingent, Nujuba flooded the trench around Anbar with water from the Euphrates. This defensive tactic, however, caused extensive flooding between Anbar and Salehain on the outskirts of Baghdad, while the environs of Anbar itself became a single swamp. Muhammad had earlier blocked the roads from Samarra to Baghdad by cutting the canals above Baghdad, with equally pernicious effects on the surrounding countryside. As Anbar was also situated strategically on the Euphrates, it was easy for al-Mu'taz's supporters to intercept the passage of foodstuffs from Raqqa to Baghdad, one cause of high prices and hunger experienced in that year. And then we get this a little bit on the Zanj Rebellion, which, again, a very useful breakdown of what the Zanj actually were, who they were and what they were doing. Were exploited to clear the salt flats in the region of Shat al-Arab, uncovering the undersoil and preparing it for the cultivation of crops like sugarcane. And, goes through that, and the most spectacular savage destruction is directed against town and city centers like Basra, Ahwaz, Ubula, and Ramharroz for plunder. And then it moves into things later than what the game cares about. But, right, that gives us a thing to think about, right? Tax revenues are declining, and that is due to agricultural improductivity, and to maintain the illusion of this sort of ultra-cosmopolitan, wealthy, opulent Baghdad, with still crazy amounts of money going into the city, creates a super precarious existence for people spread out across all these sort of wilderness, quote-unquote, districts in between Anbar and Baghdad. And when things start going wrong, precarity becomes crisis, and crisis leads to fairly widespread agricultural collapse, abandonment, and in turn, a loss of those in-kind tax payments that are so important to maintain the wealth of the Abbasid Caliphate. Anyway, there is another one here. Political economy of hydraulic states and the financial collapse of the Abbasid Caliphate. Points out the same thing, right? By the middle of the 10th century, the irrigation system had collapsed and southern Iraq was largely depopulated. Let's see. What do you want? Right, it says a lot of what it's not, right? This is not a feature of Islam as a social movement, nor is this Al-Ghazali's lamenting the decline of science and increased fundamentalist movements in the 10th and 11th centuries. Okay, during the anarchy of the 860s, the various contending factions were in desperate need of money to pay troops. They resorted to various expedients to raise funds quickly. These include assessing the annual tax more than once a year, and taxing farming where there were no limits on what the tax farmers could in practice take from the agricultural population. And occasionally the treasury was bypassed altogether, and the army was allowed to pay itself by pillaging the countryside. Gee, I think that sums up some of the problem, huh? Gee, I wonder if that's part of the problem. If you let the countryside paying via raiding is very culturally common, right? Cross-culturally common, but also very bad for central tax revenues. And so I think what the game really starts showing, this idea of corrupt tax collectors who are siphoning funds for personal enrichment and personal accumulation of power, supplemented by a larger military and social crisis. Well, I think, and then... Oh, good. At the another good summary of the anarchy at Samarra. In 861, al-Mutawakil was murdered, probably at the instigation of his son al-Muntasir, who was soon established as Caliph. At the behest of the Turkish military, he removed his brothers from the succession that his father had established. Al-Muntasir dies mysteriously the next year, and Turkish generals appoint his grandson al-Mustan as Caliph. I thought it was his nephew, but, you know, I'm willing to take the others, assume that they are right and I am wrong there. He was completely dependent on the Turks. He appointed Turkish military officer Utamish as Wazir. Utamish did not pay the troops, and then looted the treasury. And then he was executed for looting the treasury. And then the troops mutinied. And so Al-Mustan's, I believe, cousin, Al-Mutaz, gets appointed to the post. I'm actually pretty sure their relationship is wrong. I'm pretty sure Al-Mustan and Al-Mutaz are cousins, not brothers. Anyway. Al-Mutaz was banished, murdered, and Al-Mutaz gets assassinated in 879. Succeeded by Al-Mutadi, who was then also assassinated in 870. Oh no. So, anyway. Here we go. The revenue figures for 892 show the situation as developed in the 860s. Income fell from 280 dirhams to 38 million, and those only came from the Sawad, so again, from Iraq. With the inflated wages of 892, the Caliph could afford less than 15,000 craftsmen and soldiers. This is a huge decline in state capacity. Salaries had not inflated in the 860s, so the Caliph could hire around 70,000 employees with 38 million dirhams. Armies of 100,000 men were no longer an option. The largest army of the period is the one who besieged Baghdad in 865, and it numbered 19,000. Indeed, military engagements in the 860s normally involved only a few thousand troops on each side. Again, and shows kind of the same two reasons. The first one is the regional independence movements, who are stop sending their funds to Baghdad because Egypt stops because they have their own Khalif now. And then the large type of military, which costs 200 million dirhams per year. That's most of the budget in 846. And then the same thing pointed out, right? The Sawad has increased pressure putting on it. You had to go out to a meeting. What do you miss? A lot of time in JSTOR, as we've been looking at what caused economic collapse in the anarchy at Samarra. And, you know, the idea that Baghdad is this great city, but the hinterland known as the Sawat, this sort of Mesopotamian Iraqi province, it causes basically catastrophic failure due to a large size of military, the peripheral collapse of Abbasid authority, and ecological crisis exacerbated by militarized crisis. And then it gets into a bunch of like modeling stuff that and I'm sure is going to be very, very interesting for you, but is not interesting for our purposes here. So, you know, I think that gives us some good historical context, though, for what things have to be collected, what reasons historically were the tax collectors had to be more and more aggressive, and in turn more and more corrupt, and what the consequences of those were. So I think we can all agree, in a society that's already fairly reliant on subsistence farming and kind of producing lucrative crops in addition to foodstuffs, we can agree that the exploitation of them is bad. Right? Right, chat? Are we all in agreement on that front? Exploiting the peasants is bad? No? No? Chat feels ambivalent about this. Well, I think it's bad. And so I'm going to do a stabbing about it. Now, if you disagree, let me know in the comments. Exactly. The solution to corrupt tax collectors who are exploiting foodstuffs flowing into Baghdad, clearly, is to go stab them. If you stab the corrupt tax collectors, the problem sorts itself out. Right? I wonder if this is the one that has the note. Yeah, it is. I've never seen such fervor for spice in all my days. Servants and customers were trampling over one another just to get a bottle. The footprints, the fighting. So apparently the addictive spice that there's a letter about is truly just the world's best spice blend. Which, you know, I'm going to assume it's just harissa seasoning. Until otherwise proven, I'm going to assume that that's harissa seasoning. In which case, I agree. It is addictive. It burns my mouth, but I can't stop eating it. As luck... Yeah, I was fully expecting it to be opium. I was 100% expecting that to be opium.
Go away.
Oh well. I'll take the miss on that one. One of your local grocers has a rose petal. Oh, rose petal harissa. That is fantastic. I have white people spice tolerance though, so you know,
The plan
maybe not my
enter the auction as
top
a
option,
merchant wishing
but
to bid on exotic artifacts.
it's so good.
We know they want the hairpin, and we know they will be at the auction. They already let it slip through their fingers once.
When the hairpin appears, I will watch the crowd and make sure to obtain it. That will secure a meeting with this treasurer.
I am fully confident they will bid on it, whatever the cost.
Yes. I will gather as much information as I can
You
about
said-
this treasurer before the auction starts.
For someone in their position, there will be no lack of whispers.
Zoom.
The first feather without a head. It is your duty to find the right one. Do not let yourself get distracted. Focus on the mission at hand. It does no one good to linger on things that do not exist. This is real.
Okay.
Understand.
The system's issues were fundamentally baked in at the start of the Empire.
Silence is better for the wise. And how much more so for fools.
How very wise of you, Russia. Muslims were exempt from most of the taxes, which the biggest one are the market taxes mentioned. When the population shifts from majority non-Muslim to majority Muslim, the tax revenues shrink a heck of a lot, and the ruling powers really try to implement other taxing ways to raise revenue. Absolutely, I think...
There is a rot in Karch, treasurer.
Ooh.
Property stolen, merchants extorted, foreigners tormented. Corruption is rank and everywhere. But you are at its heart. Even now, your poison spreads along the East Road to lands untouched by the Order's venom. I hear you hunger for a hairpin. One up for auction at the Da'irat al-Mal.
That's supposed to be a Chinese
Your
hairpin?
rival for your heart's desire.
That was Persian.
And draw you from
And also a brooch. Assassinate the treasurer. Sitting at the top of Karth's while power is the treasurer. Controlling taxes and extorting the merchants of Karth, the treasurer is successfully funding the order at the expense of the people's livelihood. Coveting a rare hairpin from the east, the treasurer seizes the imports of any foreign artifacts at the harbor, causing great distress for various businesses. It is time to draw back the veil. Yeah, that's not what I was expecting. Exactly. I do kind of love those. I agree. We're infiltrating an auction. We need more appropriate dress. The point is taken. So we're gonna have our badass Rostam outfit because, you know, blues and tiger skin, and that proves clearly that we are wealthy enough to go ahead and do this. And also, I just adore this outfit. Actually, wait, we have a dye set for the Abbasid Knight outfit, don't we? Wait. I just realized this whole time. We could have been blue. We could have been running around as the same thing but blue. Ah, tragedy of tragedies. That's alright, we're still gonna go for the Rostam outfit. All of the outfits in this game look so good. Like, genuinely, I think they look really good. Anywho. Right. The transition from majority Muslim to majority non-Muslim and the problems that causes. I think that's a very important part of the puzzle that the sources did not mention. I've got here Richard Fleischer's Moorish Spain, which early on has a diagram on the curve of conversion. Don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but you can basically see the swoop there, right? Obviously, it's not high enough resolution to get the camera does not focus right to show you the dates, but I'll tell you, it starts at 719 and ends at 1293. And so the period of the steepest growth in the curve is between 913 and 1058. And so in Spain, in this period, right, in 864, it's about, looks like 30% of the population is Muslim. By the year 1000, it's up to about 60% of the population. And, right, that big of a change is going to cause problems. Just long term, does cause tax revenue issues, and it's a problem that the Almohads and the Almoravids in Spain solve by being increasingly extravagant in how much they're extorting non-Muslim populations. So you just start squeezing them harder and harder, and right, as the Taifa kingdoms sort of increasingly struggle in turn, right, because they still have problems, it ends up being one of the causes for
Should have known you would be here, Kong.
You know me. Come, let us.
There you are. You were so far away.
Something to ask of you.
But yeah, they end up squeezing harder and harder on non-Muslim populations, and so the sort of multiculturalism that sources ascribe to Abdurrahman II and III ends up collapsing because, when your tax burden becomes downright oppressive, you do a revolt about it. And then you respond with increased force, and so there's major Jewish and Christian revolts in Taifa, 11th, early 12th century Andalusia that get responded by increasing violence. Anyway, there's also a notable problem because how much loyalty does the ruling Arabic military garrisons have to the caliphs, especially generations removed from conquest. Why would they bother to pay new taxes or be loyal to rulers hundreds of miles away? Oh, and these guys are the military. Yeah, it's a problem. Right, Al-Mamun and his successor used slave soldiers, enslaved Mamluks for a little bit different purposes, right? They're not trying to be administrators in the ways that the later Mamluk Sultanate or later Ottoman Janissaries become, but it is very much used as a, wow, we just had multiple major civil wars. I don't trust anyone, I don't trust the Persian military garrisons that were in large part responsible for the first civil war of the 9th century. And so used enslaved Turkish military as a solution to that, which goes badly quickly. So, but, the Buyids, the Tahirids, the Seljuks, well, the Seljuks are Turkish, the Tulunids in Egypt, are all, you're right, extremely old military garrison administrator families that set up their own dynastic rules. So that's super cool.
The treasure? I do have something, but it hurts to give precious information.
Alright, what do you need from us?
What job do you need doing now?
Already know what is on my mind, eh? You see, Little Finch, the Da'irat al-Mal is not only an important event for the upper class of Kach, but also for thieves.
Indeed.
Did someone take something of yours again?
A precious ceramic saucer. Luca has it. He has always been jealous of me.
Where do you think it is?
I knew I could rely on you, Little Finch. You should be able to find it in the crates near his stall.
Be right back.
Alright. Grab Kong's item from Luca. We should probably also use our, we are just a little bit of a format, you're not wrong. We should also get some skills. Because that seems, you know, helpful. Because I have 5 points. Patrol path, tagging enemies easier, emergency aim. I don't really care about... We'll do that. And then I guess I could do an extra tool? That's fine. I think I'd prefer to start working on this tree to get the vision boost. And the stealth recon. You love how Basim is starting to get a bit tired of just like, alright, what do you need? He knows his wages, but he doesn't have to be happy about them. Combat permitted again.
I assume you heard about the commotion a few stores down.
No?
Don't tell me it's Kong and Luca again.
Yes.
Oh, not them this time. Another pair of traders fighting to get a store near the auction.
Uh-huh. A stall near the...
This must be the stall Kong mentioned. Now to find that plate.
I'm sure nothing bad will happen with the use of explosives. I'm sure nothing bad will happen. Right, chat? Right? Ow. Right, chat? Okay, take 2. Explosives literally never gone wrong in the history of ever. True. Well, literally, what was the point of that? Don't tell me I have to pull this through here. Now, hold on. This is actually like a somewhat complex puzzle. If that actually goes through, yeah. Not that I have a really good sense of, you know, where I'm supposed to put it, but, that's fine. Maybe I put it on the edge of this. Maybe that'll work. Yeah. Found it.
Suspicious activity on the rooftops.
The guards will be busy, so this will be our time to finally reward ourselves with our gold, unless you decide to run with your tail between your legs. Chicken.
Trust Kong to own a plate like this. Now maybe he will tell me what he knows about the treasurer.
This little finch has a very strong back. True. Very true. Also, nice amphorae that are bound laying on their side. You know, famously the way that you store amphorae. Also, dang it, I should have looked at the ceramic plate. Also, levitating again? Well... look, I think that would be probably the best way to store them if you could get them to levitate. They can't tip over if there's no gravity. Just saying. Now, if there's no gravity, even if they do tip over, nothing will leak out. Whee! Ow. My ankles. Well timed, Liz, by the way, saying that as I broke Abbasid's ankles for the 18th time.
Here, Little Finch delivers once again. Just the very thing I need to complete my set.
I thought this was yours.
It is now. Anyway, listen close.
Damn it!
I was having my usual afternoon tea when I overheard two ladies speaking about an order they fulfilled for the Dairat al-Mal. They made a beautiful robe for the treasure with intricate Eastern embroidery. Open your eyes.
You must
to
recommend
that.
incorporate levitation to your clients. See?
Thank you, Kong.
This is what you come to here for.
Is likely a foreigner from the east.
Okay, but like... Come on, Chinese silks are so good. Like we wouldn't also wear a robe with Tang Dynasty embroidery on it. Come on. That's such a weak clue. Using Chinese silks to make a robe. Clearly that must mean that the person who it's for is also Chinese. Really? Like, Basim, this is done poorly even for you. I mean, that'd be funny. That'd be very funny if Kong himself was sus.
Ahlan, ahlan. Come upstairs and look at my wares, ya Sadiqi. Things you've never seen before in Baghdad.
Oh, great.
Exotic Chinese artifacts. Here only. Nowhere else. Don't be shy. Come closer and be amazed at my selection upstairs.
Yeah, okay.
You meant
No, I hear you. Consider myself amazed. No, Basim, burglar of crockery, and fine goods. No, consider. Ooh, those are definitely Tang Dynasty. Ooh, those are beautiful. I'm not sure that this is of period. Certainly a silk. I wouldn't expect a scroll painting like this to just be hung like that. I expect it to be on a silk backing. My guess is that it's Song Dynasty. Is that this is probably 10th century? But I couldn't really tell you in more detail than. I'm not confident in that at the best of times. And frankly, it's not too important. The big thing is just I want it to be backed on fabric instead of just kind of there. Though I know that might be more of a Japanese style than a Chinese style.
Chinese artifacts.
Yes, friend. Welcome, welcome. You will surely find something of interest here.
I would love that.
Beautiful threads. Smooth as a camel's buttered bottom. A special for you, ya Sadiqi. Buy two, get another free.
I should look at other wares.
Okay.
Longing for the exquisite, ya Sadiqi.
Those are hairpins. Look at those.
East on auction. Rare vases, delicate teacups. But the hairpin is my prize. One of a kind. A beauty even the treasurer asked about.
Wait, the hairpin? Where is it?
It's going to be up for auction. If you wish to purchase it, make sure to bring a good bag of coin.
A hairpin. From the east. This must be the item El Kululu was after for the treasurer. I must look out for it at the auction.
Okay. But let's look at what else you've got. You've got, Astrolabe, and the Torque, and awfully arabesque-looking Chinese pocket mirror. Obviously not Chinese. It's got literally Arabic text on it. But these hairpins are what I was expecting when they said hairpins, because these are actually good hairpins, not. And I don't have anything else to say about them, besides they're really nice, and I enjoy them immensely. There's something else that way. Alright, well, let me head over to you. I understand the use of tools is not allowed, but I'm not trying to use tools. I'm trying to... Go say hello. Hello.
Tardiness is not something the treasurer appreciates.
Ah, yes. You're not sus at all. Uh-huh.
Not something we can rush, yes, Saidati. The treasurer will not be happy.
One place bets on the...
I know that. The perfume creation...
We have the power. I'm just saying, we have the power. I just need to open it up. Start the protection. Assuming that everything doesn't lag out. Come on. Come on, game. Come on, Twitch. I believe in you. Twitch. Or not, because Twitch is gonna lag out so badly. If you can make the prediction, that would be very appreciated. Yep, it wasn't letting me do it because it was lagging out, but that's my computer being stressed right now.
Is not enough. Come, we talk elsewhere. There are ears in the walls.
Yes, I am.
Woman mentioned the treasurer. I should keep my ears close.
I am the ears in the wall.
He's fond of the Kinar, as you know. No one is more unhappy when 3 dozen bottles go missing. With the harbor withholding our supplies, production has been slow, Saidati. Certain incidents there have also made our
سأقرأ أحدث
situation
بيانات التجارب وأبدي لك آرائي في وقت لاحق من
Come on. Come on, please. Slightly 5% faster. Okay, maybe not quite that much, 5%.
You are not telling me exactly what it is we are.
There we go.
The blood, my lady. The blood is essential in the sense.
Wait.
It is what
Hold
makes
up.
the Kinar
Wait, but I just got way more cursed.
We must have it. I will talk to the Khalifa. See what we can do. The treasurer will have to wait for her supply.
This perfume on the tax collector's letters. I thought it smelt like iron. Was it blood? This woman could be from the Khalifa's inner circle. She knows the treasurer. I must speak to her.
Hi, let's pull the curtains and it will definitely be...
Assalamu alaikum, ya Sayyidati.
Wa alaykum assalam.
Uh-huh.
I could not help but overhear, Sayyidati, about the perfume.
It is not courteous to eavesdrop.
Yeah, well.
Seeing as you are an admirer, you are pardoned. My name is Kabija, the woman
I love her.
behind the Kina.
I love her
It
headdress.
has a unique scent.
Rose, honey, sandalwood. And if you heard, a sliver of blood.
Blood. I should have guessed. I had thought it might be iron.
Blood is born from iron, is it not? But because of that detail, it proves difficult to bring in large quantities.
Okay.
If it is so exclusive, it must be popular amongst officials. I think I caught a scent of it near the treasurer.
Ning uses the Kina. She is quite taken with its rich mystique, as are many. Curious. You do not look like one who is interested in the art of perfume.
I am a posh man.
It is unwise to judge someone by how they look.
Indeed. Did I not catch your name?
Basim,
Basim.
I must not waste any more of your time. I wish you a wonderful
Also,
time.
we're so good at being stealth, right? We're so good at stealth.
So, the treasurer is a she, and her name is Ning. The auction should be starting soon.
Again, is this Sahab? You can't have this here. If this is Sahab, I will take all of it. Basim, giving his real name to this lady because he's so supremely stealthy and assassin. He works in the darkness by giving people his real name. Also, clearly we should have been interested in the art of perfumery because everyone, right, if you could afford perfume in the Abbasid Caliphate, you wore perfume. If you couldn't afford perfume, you did what you could to fake like you were wearing perfume. We are wearing absolutely luscious textiles right now. Clearly high status. We should 100% be wearing perfume. And if we are wearing perfume, we, it's fine to be interested in the art of wearing perfume? Like, that feels like that just works. That just is like 2 + 2. Now this guy, right, that guy right there, that's a guy who's not so interested in perfume. Ooh, nice little... Wearing it doesn't necessarily mean being interested in learning how it's made. Well, sure. Nobody saw such... No. Really? Not even a little bit? Like... It's just sitting there. No. Maybe this fantastic outfit looks too rich to carry. Cool free sword.
Assalamu alaikum. Yasas. Ni hao. Hello.
Okay, so Persian, Arabic, Greek, and Mandarin, or Chinese.
And purchase what God has shown us. It brings me great.
Here's the question sort that makes you ask questions.
You esteemed individuals to our annual Dairat al-Mal.
And English.
First on our exclusive, captivating list of exotic odds and ends, we have a
Ooh, alabaster with actual ivory horns?
India. Made
Ooh.
of ivory and crafted by
That's not sorry.
artisans. It will be a
That you expect me to believe with that marbling that that's ivory? Salesperson. You're telling me that with that marbling is made entirely out of ivory. That's alabaster.
to any home. Oh, what do we have? One bidder already. No, 2. Calling once, twice.
A third? Would anyone like to best that price? No? So, this piece goes to the lovely lady.
There's no elephant alive or dead with us wide enough for that to be carved. Agreed. There we go. I mean, that still is Persian. Just for the record. Look at that griffin. You could not get a more, Sasanian Persian design if you had tried.
Look at the detail on the dragon. Perfect as a collectible, and even better as a gift for a certain lady friend you might have.
It's beautiful. I love it.
Worth to you, Ya Asdiqai. One for the treasurer who graced us with her presence.
Ning, the treasurer.
Two. Any others?
Yeah.
We have a third there. Oh, who owns it again? Number 3. What will you do? How much do you want?
There's by East of Blood, so technically correct. Yeah, but I've been confiscating only Chinese goods. Well, we're rich. I'm proud of us.
No one? Then sold to the handsome bearded man. This hairpin belongs to you now, Sayyidi.
Yeah.
Now, for the third item.
Let's go.
And we thank you once again for making the Dairatul Mal a success. May your purses be ever full and your...
I only took half our cash, so that's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Did you see her? Calmness, grace. Like a low...
People are really obsessed with her for being someone who just looked vaguely angry. I managed to out... She only bid once. To be fair, she only bid once. And also, right, you know, normally, I'm like, normally, you know, 85, 90, 95% of the time, games will wildly overcharge you. Right? Games wildly overcharge you for basically everything. One thinks of perhaps, you know, pretzels in Kingdom Come Deliverance, costing fully a week's worth of wages. In this case, I think they maybe, undersold how expensive things are. Like, this is a rare case where I believe the video game has undersold how expensive things might be. Not by much. But I'm curious if I have anything that talks about how expensive stuff actually is. Let's see. I mean, unfortunately, this one is probably... That document is probably generally fake, so that's not going to be helpful. Prophet's Wisdom, that's not important. Or a good comparison. That's not a good comparison. Here we go. Yeah. You know, maybe that's not so bad. As one example, in a document about Arib, visit to her former lover, that said former lover assembled a collection where one... so I went to my enslaved girls and explained the situation, asking them to help me with anything which they had handy. One gave me an anklet, another a bracelet, another a bead necklace, another an ornament of some kind, until I had got together a collection in value of about 1,000 dinars. Dinars are more expensive than dirhams, though it's not like, oh, 10 dirhams make up a dinar. It's weirdly, it's like 7 dirhams is 10, or 7 dinar is 10 dirhams or something. But still. The idea that something, that an object there might be in the couple hundreds of dirhams, potentially running up to like 500 dirhams, is actually within the realm of possibility. And there's probably jewelry that's more expensive than that. Which is very funny. Right? I'll be honest, that's very funny that the video game, extravagant video game prices seem to just be fairly within the upper bounds of possibility. And these sorts of wildly extravagant purchases on jewelry and other random bits of ornament is 100% in the spirit of the thing, even if the number is not quite right.
Apologies. My instructions were clear. No brooch, no entry.
Do you know who I am? I need to speak to the treasurer. I was called, summoned.
Alright, Mr. Fashion Crimes.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm here to see the treasurer.
On what business?
I have a gift for the treasurer, if she will see me.
Only members of the Ivory Coin are allowed to enter. No brooch, no entry.
Alright. The Ivory Coin. It's basically just one of those reality TV auction shows where you got a potentially really expensive item for a good price. I don't know if it was for a good price, it was definitely for a price. And we've got to start earning our money back somehow. Cash up there, some guards. Another money to pickpocket. Ah, perfect. A shiny old orange person. Hello, shiny orange person. I would like to speak to you. Ah, of course it would be you.
This is proof that I am of the Merchants Guild. Look, see?
With respect, that does not entitle you to 3 bags of saffron, 2 of vanilla, and a bottle of honey without a single coin.
No.
Impossible! Bah, this is a waste of my time.
Hello, spices for you?
Vanilla? Wasn't I correct on this just the other day, where Vanilla's New World?
Trouble with customers.
No more than usual. These people from the Ivory Coin think themselves touched by God himself.
The Ivory Coin?
Saffron, yes.
I should not speak about it. I do not know much, really.
Well, that's alright, we've just...
Whatever you know can help me.
Well, it will not hurt to tell you what I know. The Ivory Coin is an exclusive merchants guild. They have a brooch that grants access to certain places.
Okay.
How do you obtain this brooch?
I hear only respected merchants are
Oh.
part of the Ivory Coin.
Well, that's a problem.
And that you can only be invited by another member. They think their status gives them permission to take goods without coin.
Vanilla's Mexico.
Have you ever seen such vanity?
This is expected in Karch. Thank you.
So, Yep. Definitely. It just works. So, yeah, I mean, proud of that merchant. Like that, she got some exclusive deal with the Maya somehow.
No brooch, no entry.
Right,
I don't know how this works.
9th entry.
But I left my brooch in there. Do you not see the problem here?
No brooch, no entry.
لعنك الله.
Don't mind me. Meta plus vanilla. You're not wrong. Okay, the Totenak. Instead of the Maya. Okay.
An exclusive union for the merchants of high society. I should have expected this to exist.
Vanilla's actually Isutech, what a twist. I mean, that explains several things. Also, just may not have been cultivated in this period. That's funny.
Antiquities is the treasurer's haven. I need to find a way in.
Okay, sorry, it took me a moment to interpret this correctly. That it was the guy's name is Q. Instead of, you know, the city being in Greece somehow. We got derailed by Vanilla. Oh, we absolutely did get derailed by. As we should, frankly. Like, honestly, the fact that we got derailed by Vanilla is in some... Oh, that was an interesting climbing animation. Thought a lot of it comes from yeah. I'm sure that's actually exactly what happened, is they were like, oh yeah, you know, where's Vanilla grown? Madagascar. Madagascar is part of the trade network, and it is very much part of the trade network. El Yakubi talks a fair bit about Madagascar in his geography. Oh, did I just not get the thing I needed to? Heck. Whoops. Hi, could you climb? Could you... Uh-oh. Phasm? You feeling okay? Okay. Gotcha, there's just more room over here. Shiny there, and then of course it's over there. Well, I guess the police are gonna have 2 more mergers to investigate real soon. Frankly, unfortunate. Am I not able to target them because they're through a wall? Dang it. I just wanna stab somebody. That's alright, we'll do it this way. We'll step out into the open, and we'll target, and then we'll target, and then... Die. Die.
This must be the ivory coin's brooch. Shiny.
I'd observe.
Both trinkets. The guard will have to let me in now.
I would be inclined to observe that I expect it to be made out of ivory. I'ma be real. I fully expected it to be made out of not gold. Like, I mean, it's nice. You love Basm going shiny just like we do? Look, trinkets are good.
Off with you, go on.
Hooray. Anyway, right, while we make fun of, while we're like, vanilla, weird, I do want to point out that the other one was saffron, and that is spot on. Saffron is absolutely an important spice in the 9th century.
Assalamu alaikum.
You again. What is it now?
I have something that she wants. A Chinese hairpin from the auction. I also have my brooch with me here.
Very well. You may enter.
Uh-huh. Let me, thank you.
This way, Sayyidi.
I have been looking forward to meeting the treasurer. It is an honor.
Indeed, Sayyidi. She is busy, and her time only allows for a few rare appearances.
Busy doing crime.
I've seen so many treasures in one place.
Oh. Oh yeah, let's take a look at this room. Let's just start in this corner. Looks like turquoise? Potentially malachite? We've got Chinese porcelain wares. We've got potentially lapis. We have a whole ass mummy. Beautiful. New kingdom, I think. We have a lot of books. We have West African bongos? Sure. Legit, what position is the treasurer actually? Apparently antiquarian. Just professional antiquarian right here. Again, Egyptian. Please observe the clearly, I think once again, probably New Kingdom, Egyptian with turquoise and copper scarabs in it. Greek statuary that's having a bad time. But apparently not looted from Seleucia. You know, the spider would make sense. More gold stuff, more gold stuff. The Holy Grail, question mark? Just ingots, hanging out, having a good time. Some sort of scent container? Another one. Another one. An Egyptian jackal statue. A friend. I love. Hey, buddy. Not very petable, but very nice. Just carpets rolled up, hanging out, having a good time. Ooh. Another scroll. A word of caution, Al-Pyraka, I've never been one to extol the virtue of modesty. There's something to be said for subtlety when it is critical to one's survival. Our brother's recent demise makes it clear we have drawn attention from unwelcome quarters. Temper your shows of wealth and stop bidding publicly before more blades. Spring from the shadows. Al-Bahamat Raz Al-Afa. She was apparently part of the Abbasid court, but is part of the Abbasid court that is not. Weirdly, is not, again, a Turkish wazir who is then just embezzling. Right? Like, realistically, right, they say, oh, the treasurer, they just, we just heard, in our deep dive, like, less than an hour ago, so it was, right, that there were, wazirs appointed, of Turkish origin as sort of the prince of the realm, in the anarchy at Samarra, who promptly embezzled enormous amounts of money from the Caliphal treasury. Right? So, was it Udashan, I think was his name? That about, like, within the time period of the game, after Al-Mutawakil's assassination, was appointed to be the chief wazir for Al-Mutawakil's successor, Al-Mustain? Again, I am bad at this particular set of names. I get them switched around all the time. Let me pull it up again. Cities of note, no. People of note. Al-Muntasir. Al-Muntasir's chief wazir is of Turkish origin and embezzled wildly from the treasury. So, this merchant being Chinese and the Caliphal treasurer for presumably either Al-Muntasir, Al-Mustan, or Al-Mutaz. It's unclear which one. Just the Caliph. One of them. Just one of them. Hi.
You are a new face.
My name is Basim. New to Baghdad, but not to trade. I deal mostly in fine antiques and collectibles.
You must have a good eye for detail then. What have you brought me, Basim?
And hey, Parika is the original Avestan for Peri, so another Zoroastrian reference. We love it.
Come, show it to me.
I wonder where these lions are from? It's a great question. They do feel the game doesn't seem to imply that she's a wazir, no. Like, they just have a treasurer in, like, the modern club guild sense. Like, wait, she's Chinese? Apparently her name's Ning, so...
Exquisite. Ever seen something like this? So perfect. So delicate.
No, but I am surprised that you have not.
I do have a penchant for them. When I was but a child, my sisters and I would tie our hair...
Honestly, I like her current hair tie more.
With stone. I pretended they were the rarest gems. We had nothing, but we felt that we had it all.
Diversity
Many reasons why people see me. For advice, a taste of power, and most often, to win favor. Why have you come, Basim?
As a fellow collector, I have heard much about you from others. Your extravagance, your taste. I wish to learn.
Did they say I was lucky? I loathe the word.
Okay.
When I first arrived in Baghdad, I was one of many seeking my fortune. Now, I have even the East wrapped around my fingers. I clawed my way here when many gave up, preferring to spare their nails. But me, I don't mind a few scratches. A bit of...
Well, I got...
Surely there have been connections. The people you met that helped you get to where you are.
No matter what others say, you only have yourself. No one else.
Well... It was a good try. Frankly, it was a very good try. She was onto us.
Everything prospers when family is harmonious. Family? The word has no meaning. The notions, even more so.
Way to
Only
quote
the
Confucius
sound
at
of
us.
The deepest whispers of your soul and accepts you whole.
No one lives alone.
But we die lonely. In the end, we are absolutely, simply,
Maybe you are.
truly alone.
I'm a sage. Foreshadowing. Skill issue on her end. She just did quote Confucius at us. Now the Jin's gonna yell at us, who is definitely someone to worry about, yep. Hi, how you doing? Bye.
Return to the bureau.
The treasurer! She's dead! Help! Someone killed the treasurer!
Yeah. We're literally fine. Don't worry about it. Alright, I guess we'll do it. I guess her being Chinese, you always saw us attempt at showing how far the trade networks go. I think it's what we call a girl boss diversity win. And I don't think Liz, that Basim was particularly sympathetic. I think mostly was hoping to bait out the name of another Order member. Heyo! Welcome, Beret Girl. Welcome. And, it's good to see you. Exactly, right? If we could get the name of Al Bahamut, that would be real cool. Aw. Cut the head off the whale. Yeah. You missed the outcome of the pin. Wasn't an Easter artifact. It was not. But you should finish. We should finish that thing because it turns out it was truly just a very nice object, and she was just being greedy. And Goen, thank you for the gift sub to Alex Supreme. It's super appreciated. Congratulations to anyone who bet that it was not in fact an Easter artifact. And a surprising turn of events for this franchise. It turns out it was actually not, and it was just a nice trade good. That I still believe is from Persia. Not China. Good job to the 4 people who made 10,000% on their investment. Yeah. Big ones. Big wins for the gamblers. Everyone was fully attached. Well, you feeling okay, Basim? Well, congratulations to anyone who made 10,000% on
The
it.
streets are alive with talk about the auction.
Rumors spread quickly. It was this woman, Ning.
A woman holding the reins. She must have angered many.
Angered and enthralled, in equal parts. It is no wonder she kept her identity.
The definition of Orientalism.
Now the upper echelons of affluent louts are soiling their silk robes, wondering if they are next.
The Order will not stop here. If they have reached the east, then there is no telling how far they will spread.
Uh-huh.
Did you see it? The Jenny?
She did seem to be the actual Caliph's treasurer. Who the Caliph is in this period, the game is being fuzzy about. But apparently he's actually...
Our work is not done yet.
And yeah, pretty clearly Al-Bahamut is someone at court. And that someone is not, you know, Al-Mutaz. So it remains unclear. Because they haven't introduced really any hint as to who it might be yet, apart from being like, obviously it's someone in the Khalifa Palace. Why don't you be like Wasif or Bura, or one of the other... Right, one of the... Oh, hell yeah. Another die. Come on. Give it to me. Give me the blue. I kind of adore that. I mean, I like that one a lot. But I kind of adore that one. Yeah, right. They've not really said a lot as to who is it going to be. Apart from knowing, yeah, it is someone at the palace. They've not really given us anything to work with. But yeah, if it's one of the Turkish generals who are actually responsible for the anarchy at Samara, I think that would be very, very funny. Like, I just think that would be hilarious. How many targets have been taken out so far? Who's keeping track? We are keeping track by our investigation menu. And we just finished the third main assassination. So we've taken out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 order members, plus some random people carrying shards. But 3 of the 5 main ones. So we have 1 more to do over in Sharqiya. And now we have Al-Bahamut. Al-Payrika, Al-Rabasu, Al-Ghul, and then whoever we're gonna get here. And it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So, Al-Payrika refers to an Avestan Zoroastrian being known as Peri in Persian, which is great. Big fan of that. And we're gonna get that, and we're gonna get that, and we're gonna... Let's go turn in some dervishes. Sure. Artifacts. We've been stealing so many things from... Actually, you know what? We're gonna do that after we take another ad break. We try and do these like every hour, as I said, just so that everyone has a chance to stand up and stretch and not feel like they're gonna be missing out, because self-care is important. So, if you've been enjoying this, I'll leave you with the call to prayer. And... our quest nails. And let me get away from the person talking. Very quickly. Well, now it's gone quiet. Oh well. So we shall instead just leave you with regular ones. We'll be back in a couple of moments. So don't go anywhere. And enjoy. Okay, welcome back everyone. Welcome back, and I hope you enjoyed that brief ad break. Let's pull up the Pari, or Peri. See if we can't pull that into a different tab successfully. Give me Just a sec here. Alright. So, if you are just tuning in, my name is Adam, as always, and we have been playing Assassin's Creed Mirage. I am a historian. We're looking at the history portrayed in the game, while also having a good time just talking about it. We're going to open up this part of the stream by looking at the representation of who we just murdered. Because we did just murder a major member of the Order of the Ancients, and all the members of the Order of the Ancients, for some reason, have names taken from Arabic and Persian folklore. So, Al-Payraka, who we just killed, is the Avestan version of the name of a figure known as a Peri. So, we're going to tab over there real quick to take a look at who it is, and then we're going to move on to our last area, Sharqiya, and see who we're gonna find out. And it's gonna be good. If you are enjoying this, of course, make sure that you follow the channel to be notified for all of the historical content that we do, because we do very much of it across all time periods. We got a bunch of bangers coming up, right? We got Dragon Age in our medievalist fantasy. Dragon Age Origins, I should say. We've got Total War Pharaoh for your Bronze Age Collapse enjoyers. And coming up in November, we're going to have Last Train Home for your bonkers side quest of what if the Czechoslovak Legion had to go through Siberia to get home after World War I, after fighting in Poland, which is notably close to Czechoslovakia. Real historical event, by the way. So they've got a video game adaptation of it, and so we're going to be playing that, and that's going to be fun. That's going to be so much fun. And if you want to help enable all of that, of course, do consider subscribing to the channel as well. It helps a whole lot. You can also head over to patreon.com/ludohistory, or click on the link in chat for that. Alright, let's hop back into it. So, that's a parry. This is from a 19th century manuscript, so this is not how it would be depicted in the period, but that's a parry. The old Persian name for Peri is Parika, so it's close. You think it's interesting that they chose the Avestan term. Yeah. They seem to be going for, like, the oldest... But as far as I can tell, they're going for as old as they can get away with. But I don't really know what the logic is, for sure. It's definitely interesting. It's something I guess we should keep an eye out for to see if they are using Old Persian forms, or if they're using Middle Persian forms for some of those names, or Old Arabic versus more modern, contemporary Arabic. Don't know. It's interesting. Regardless, what we're going to start off with is by crossing town to go talk to Derwish. It's also interesting because, as far as you know, once they've been Islamicized, Peri are generally benevolent beings. Interesting. Though that's not stopped them before, right? It seems to be a purely aesthetic borrowing of they like the sound of the name and so they choose the name. Because there's definitely some, right? Al-Ghul is obviously a bad guy. Right? Pretty much indubitably the worst person. But they've had a lot of figures, and the rule matches that. But who was it? Who was it that we killed that was also typically seen as a benevolent spirit? Not Al-Zara. I think Ajdaha may have been. And Ankar, we know, was. Right, Ankar are usually relatively benevolent as well. So, while they're not as explicitly, you know, I guess protective as what other ones say, it's, I know, it feels very much like they don't care about the actual folklore connotations, that they mostly care about the name being cool. Anyway, hey Derwish, we've been busy.
You mentioned needing my help, Derwish. With keeping the rebellion alive, I could...
Oh right, we're funding the Zanj Rebellion, which hasn't started yet.
Coin goes a long way in securing that. But coin is hard to come by without the right assets.
Just steal everything.
I hear that a number of rare and unique items line the pockets of our fine citizens. Bring me their burdens, Basim, and be rewarded.
Okay, view shop items. Oh.
A wise man take...
Okay.
I have this for you.
Okay.
Oh, a good harvest. Nicely done.
Mm-hmm. I have 6 more for you.
I have something for you.
A veritable hoard you've got there.
I think that's as many as I don't have all 9 of the last ones.
Your gift.
So long, old friend.
May God bring us back to each other again, Basim.
So what did we actually get for that? We got a bunch of components and leather. Now, what do you... Oh, 4 of the final 9 I have gotten. I understand. So there's one artifact here in Harbia. There's 1 artifact in Karth, and there's 2 in the Round City. Well, I don't really want to just run around looking for them, but I do kind of want to run around looking for them. And then there must be 1 in the wilderness. It gives me a new outfit too, so I definitely want to run around and look for them. Man. But I don't know how to detect them more carefully than just... Hello, yes. Allow me to run around until one crops up on my radar. Which, if that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do. But that may not be exactly fun and thrilling stream content.
She was yelling in Sicilian Greek for a good while. She may still be.
Like, as nice as this, and as beautiful as this is, I don't know that just literally running around until we get a pop-up that says, hey, guess what? Look. There's a thing to pay attention to. Look at the gold. Especially this late at night. That's definitely not helping my cause. Place doesn't seem to exactly be bustling right now. Oh well.
Citizens of Baghdad, our scholars advise us that the time...
Maybe we'll just run this direction, and if one shows up, and if one doesn't by the time we've made it around to Sharkia, then it'll be something I'll do off camera. Right, like if I don't find it on camera, I may just do a stream where I go, hey. Yeah, collecting all of them just give you outfits. But It's a fair point, but I will say this. They are kind of interest to us in their own right. Because, you know, they are historical trivia. One, we love the drip. You're not wrong, Faith. We do absolutely adore the drip. But equally importantly, they are good. They are historical tidbits, right? They are all artifacts or historical books. And so in some way are... Oh. Don't mind me. Maybe I should find a different path. Wait.
تسرني رؤيتك.
Huh? Get away from me.
Hi. A Pixis?
That's not right.
They are truly just carrying anything around here, aren't they? These small boxes made out of rich materials such as ivory were used in the Byzantine era to hold precious materials, such as aromatics and cosmetics. Darn. We've got an enigma up there, and then that puts us out of the city in the right spot to go take on the last. Last guy. That was a flawless victory with absolutely no risk of detection. I wonder if, like, donkeys as guard animals is something that show up in the city? Not in this part of the city. So, the fact that there are actually donkeys running around in this part of the city is actually probably an issue. Because, you know, as we said a couple of times, right? Well, it's technically only in this area that you have to be foot only. It's unclear what they'd be doing in this area in order to, like, I don't know, enable it? Like, real talk, like, what are you using donkeys for in the outer reaches of the Round City? I assume it's just up top. Yeah. Cool. Up top. Oh, that tile work is not climbable. Duly note. That... Really? That was surprising. Really? Alright. No? Fair play? Fair play? I heard they'll do the same thing, Raptors, with llamas. That those are a really popular, or an increasingly popular, guard animal for exactly the same reason. Will just fully ruin whoever gets nearby without a care in the world. Just... Especially with putting llamas in alpaca herds. Amazing. Llamas see alpacas are like baby llamas. And also, I mean, that's, you know, not unfair because alpacas are cinnamon rolls. And we love them. And llama then is like, oh, these look kind of similar. It'll be fine. And then the llama just ruins your day. Now, when I was a kid, one of my sister's teachers had a farm in Highland, Colorado that had a yak, a donkey, bunch of alpacas, and then a whole herd of llamas. And we were allowed to go say hi to any of the animals when we visited, except the llamas. I was just like, Sierra, Basim. That's quite the farm. It was pretty impressive. Like, not even gonna lie. Kind of one heck of a farm. All right. And what did we unlock? Apparently a lot of historical sites. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, that's all of them. Are in quick succession around this part of the city. Well, that's future us's problem. We should instead flag this and actually, you know, do our job. I think we should probably just focus on doing our job for a bit. On your parents' farm, you just got chased by Highland cattle. Wouldn't recommend. Oof. Getting all the historical... See, we're going to get all the historical sites regardless, but that is fun that they give you a reason, even if you don't... Even if you're just in it for the fashion, it's good that they give you some sort of reward. But obviously this is a historical playthrough. We were going to get all the historical sites come hell or high water. Like, that is the one thing that was absolutely never in doubt. We have them all there, we have them all there, we have them all there. We're missing one out here in the middle of nowhere, and I don't know where it is. Nadukbara. Not the Enigma. Like, somewhere in the wilderness, somewhere in these vast reaches of wilderness, there is one missing historical site, and I don't know where it is, and I'm not happy about it. I don't like not knowing. Especially if it's in, you know, Crash City over here. Mysterious. Like, literally, I have no clue where it is. So, dunno. We'll have to just... Because it's not there. We have both of those. I won't assume it's near something. But it's not near anywhere in any of these, so, don't know. Just take a picture of the orb and use sensor oh. Well, that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? If only some video Did they actually show it already flooded? Huh. Huh. Fascinating. Caravanserai. Tim was a beta. Out here? Out here? Nope. Not out there. The Oasis? Nope, not there. I genuinely don't know where that last one would be, and if I miss one, I'm going to be real mad about it. Oh! Found it! Alright, we're good. No need to be mad about it. Well, that's a problem. That's not a good sound.
They will die for this. Every one of them.
It is time we fight.
Your anger is just, but you will not win a war, Ali. Basim, good, you are needed. Mercenaries have taken some rebels and executed them in the square.
And your Rafik would have me hide like a rat while they hunt my men openly.
We must at least return the dead to their families.
Do you still fear to fight these devils, Beshi?
My only fear is that we become like them.
Beshi, immediately based.
There is more to this than it seems. The Khalifa would not risk war.
The Khalifa is already at war with someone else.
Those responsible and slaughter them like dogs.
The Order will find you first. It's likely they are looking for you and Beshi already. You are well known to them. Basim, however...
Ali, I will find who did this, and I will kill them all. You have my word.
Basim is right. Let him do this. When those responsible lie dead, you will receive the credit.
All right. Everyone must know it was me. I will return to Jarjaraya, but I will not wait long.
Okay.
I will meet you at the gate, Basim.
Okay.
And I will make sure the bodies are returned to the families for burial.
That might have gone badly.
You think this is the work of the Order?
Yes. As you know, Sharqiya is run by Turkic mercenaries paid by the Khalifa, who himself is only a puppet for the Order.
He's also a puppet for the Turkic mercenaries.
The mercenary commanders in Sharqiya is with them.
Tell me who, and I will find him.
We must tread carefully. Sharqiya stands on a razor's edge. The rebels are armed and growing in number. They could attack at any time. A misstep here could start a war that threatens even Alamut.
What do you advise, Fulad?
Go with Ali to Jarjaraya and look around. Someone there must know something.
The fact that they're just saying that, like, this is one of the things that's starting to...
Work quickly. You see what is at stake.
Okay. One of the things that's starting to at least a little bit frustrate me is just how unclear it is. Or, I guess, their reluctance to commit to who the Khalif actually is. Like, not that players will necessarily know, right, if you just... there's really nothing to say that player, or to suggest that players would know if you actually said who it was, Al-Mustain. But at the same time, the fact that they're just saying, oh, the Khalif, really doesn't communicate any of the instability of the period, right? Oh, there's this monolithic, stable thing, and the main antagonistic force is Ali ibn Muhammad. And not, you know, the cousins that are at war with each other. My brothers in the shadows, the whispers have slowed to a silence. Like the patient fisherman, we cast our nets and wait. Rest assured, we remain committed to our end of the agreement. Now, about yours. We require a new shipment without delay. Our lives and the success of our mission depend on it. In solidarity, the Lion of Freedom. Again, I want that sword. Can this be one of the swords that we play with? Look at how nice that sword is. Actually, that's an interesting question. I wonder why in this case... Okay, I mean, yes, this is actually just one of our swords. But why, in general, that looks like it's a Kilish, or a Kilish, so a Turkish sword from the period. In general, why are the nicer swords not the ones the player gets to play with? Right, we have this big clunky straight sword, or our rather overwrought fantasy scimitar thing. Why don't we have a nice Persian Shamshir? That'd be nice. I'd feel good about that. Let's grab all these off the board, I guess. Even if we're not gonna do them, let's grab them all. Cause cool spiky scimitar go burr? Well, you're not wrong on that, but...
Hello. Nice to see you.
Unlock a tool.
New wonders. Be my guest.
Because we believe we have one to unlock yet. A noisemaker. Oh, I don't have any to unlock.
Seen enough?
Okay.
So long.
Actually, wait, I need to upgrade my tools.
Well met.
Upgrade or reset
Your
tool.
skills could take a look.
I want to get upgrade level 2. Because I've got plenty of materials, so... Silent Blast. Healing Vapor. Choking Fumes. Well then. Literally unbelievably strong. Corrode body and armor piercing. Or our blow dart. Whoop. Huh. Well, I mean, okay. We also, yes, do have...
Nothing else?
We've got lots of upgrades for our daggers. Right, we need to swing by, a... Well, we need to swing by a, blacksmith. Hi. Yes, I would love to talk. Yes, I would love to speak with you.
Good to see you.
Well met.
You want a sword to have around your house so bad?
Please.
I mean, that's fair. Wait, we can just have any appearance we want?
Extension of the warrior's soul.
I mean, that's fun.
Enhanced ventilation technology. Yes?
We have lots of enhanced ventilation no. Initiate the Valamut dagger, the hidden one dagger. The Rostam dagger. Which we can't upgrade. We can upgrade almost anything, basically. Let's do that. Cool. And then...
Find the edge. Perfect the balance.
Well, does this have changed the look? It does not change the look. These are pretty much just the look is the look.
Good choice. Care for your blade. It will reward you.
Yeah, the look is the look is the look.
Ever sharper. Very well.
Which is very fine. Like, I am not bothered by that at all.
The extension of the warrior's soul. Soul.
I know, it flashes like I expect it to... Like, I expect it to change. Interesting, so we can make any sword look like any other sword. That's very good. I enjoy that a lot.
Nothing else?
I must take...
Farewell.
Ali is waiting at the gate for me to go with him to Jarjaraya.
Are you anxious for
And then I am curious. Because if I head over to the tailor then... What upgrades do I have for these? For my armor. Stop it.
Greetings.
Welcome, well.
Uh-huh. View shop items.
Plenty of... Take care of the suit that takes care of you.
I have one. One that I can upgrade.
Soul.
Which is fine.
Nothing further.
You still remember the shield of St. George? Look, we were super Christian. Don't worry about it, we were just the most Christian. Makes us good people, you know? All right. I wanted to do something in my inventory. So I wanted to switch out some of these, I think. Successful dodges deal increased. Initiate of Alamut sword. Yeah, let's roll with that. My ankles. Oh, never mind, we're good. The more crosses we have, the more it increases our Christianity multiplier. Exactly. Hey, bye. No one saw anything, okay? No one saw anything.
Your fate is sealed.
Well, now I'm on a wall. Could I not be on the wall? Dear Abbot, for your service for your caliphate, you are gifted a piece of land at the heart of our city in which to build your house of God. Yet I hear that your monks urge the consumption of alcohol in the street, linked to unseemly behavior. I'm sure this is a misunderstanding, still I would appreciate your assistance as I investigate these rumors. Muhammad ibn Abdullah ibn Tahir. So, historical figure alert. Hello, have we defeated the Templars? No. We made progress. But are unfortunately far away from being defeated. No. Muhammad ibn Abdullah ibn Tahir is the governor, of Baghdad in this period. So, he is also an ally of Alamut. Cause, right, we know the Tahirids, of which he is a member, being Ibn Tahir, is our allies of the Assassins. So, he seems to be safe. He seems to be the one high-ranking official that we can reasonably say is safe. He's not sus. Everyone else in this world is sus. Ooh, a menorah. I guess this is a Jewish house.
You have no business here.
Okay, but, what if I did have business here? I was memeing. Honestly, don't take it so seriously. Hello, Magistressa! We killed, we saw a very nice fashion. We saw a hairpin that they claimed was Chinese and was, not. So, you know. Anyway, death and afterlife. More history. In time, rituals inspired by the Prophet Muhammad's life started to coalesce into a distinctive Islamic burial rite practiced all over the empire. A unique element was a relatively short mourning period of only a few hours. In this small amount of time, the body was washed, in houses or mosques, an uneven number of times with perfumed water. Depending on the financial resources of the mourners, the deceased person was dressed with either a dedicated mourning shroud or a clean cloth, wrapped in an odd number of times with the best available cloth used for the head. It was from Persia. Finally, the procession was carried to a cemetery. In a procession bringing together family members, friends, and neighbors. They laid the deceased to rest on their side, facing Mecca at the eventual judgment of God. The prominence of odd numbers in these practices was related to their signifying the oneness of God in Islamic theology. Every one of these steps was linked to the perception of the afterlife. Those who passed away were believed to be awaiting a day of judgment at which they would appear in the state in which they were buried. Then would be decided their eternal fate, either in Jannah, the final abode of the righteous in heaven, or in Jahannam, the place of punishment for evildoers, or hell. Of course, this view of death as traditional did not prevent feelings of sadness. Abbasid cemeteries were full of family members visiting their dead loved ones, offering poems, prayers, and small tokens of affection or memorabilia. A tombstone from the 10th century in Nishapur, Iran. Ooh. And again, one must assume it is a Jewish site. Joy beneath weeping palms. I should also take care of a bunch of these investigations, or a bunch of these enigmas at some point. Because there does seem to just be a bunch of stuff around here. Not that I remember where this one is. Like, which building is this supposed to be? Do I have to? Do I have to go back? You like the mini Cthulhu? Thank you. To be fair, you already found that one? I don't think so. I don't think I found the enigma that's, like, down here. Right, because that's under a tree next to the ruins rather than actually in the ruins. Magistrate, you missed the start of the stream. And the end of last stream. We found the Necronomicon, and it caused our game to crash. Then at the start of today's stream, the Necronomicon continued to cause our game to crash. And actually, it's probably the flamingos that caused our game to crash, but, you know, we'd like to say it's the Necronomicon. Again, there seems to be a lion there. I don't know where that is, but just not for today. Oh, okay. It just continued to cause our game to crash, like very many times. There's so many of these. We'll take care of them later, I guess. Those, again, are probably something I should just do off camera. Just be like, hey, let me run around, locate all of these things. So then we just have a bunch of new drip. And then once we have a bunch of new drip, that'll, make us happy. The yellow wallpaper, I didn't know that it was explicit. Oh, an explicit influence on. I was like, I didn't know that was influenced by Lovecraft. I thought that was older. Turns out it, yeah, it's older. Could you not look at me? I would love if you just didn't look at me. I remain undetected. Ugh, another barred door. Tell me that only pulled one.
That's odd. What?
Nice. Good work. course there's two of them. Well, I could just chain this out. Oh, heck. The idea was good.
The chief left in a hurry. I could almost... Hey! Hold on! Enough is what he wears, so much of his wear.
Heck. No. Make me say that. The fact that that doesn't count as getting detected is hilarious.
Passing through.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. You should probably run away. You know, that's understandable even. That's alright, we're inside now. We should be pretty safe. Okay. I mean, I have read King in Yellow before, but
This
yes.
does not look good for the perfume trader, but I need more proof.
It's a fair point that Lovecraft, especially early on, borrowed a lot of influence from Chambers. Now, Lovecraft wrote a lot and innovated a lot.
I have all the proof I need to connect the perfume trader to the bandits. I should go before they catch my scent.
So, yes, I mean, there is a reason why the King in Yellow, right, Hostur is usually said to just be, like, part of the same mythos. Because they are so deeply, deeply similar.
The guards will be ever vigilant.
Orla Bagui de Maupassant has some similarities.
To perfection.
Yeah, exactly, right? He's not the... There's a lot of interest in the period, in this sort of, you know, what is the limits of human industrial understanding, and what happens when, you know, folklore TM, right, defined vaguely and in a very horrific way. What if it has a point? And what if that point is kind of horrible?
Your suspicions were on the nose. The ledger and marked coins connect the perfume trader to the bandits.
Good work. And I appreciate you getting the job done in a timelier fashion on this occasion.
Hey. Rude. Is that a Chinese guy? If so, how come he has short hair? Don't worry about it.
I finally heard.
But yeah, of course, right, people were experimenting in this sort of scientific horror and the madness of the modern mind. Since frankly, right, at least Mary Shelley, and frankly earlier, they're all kind of... Okay. I got the memo, I'm just leaving. Turn and fight? I'd rather not. Right, exactly, right? I mean, not all horror is existential horror, but, like, Mary Shelley, Edgar Allan Poe, etc. are all working the same thing. Margaret Cavendish, exactly, are all working in similar spaces. Lovecraft is not... Ghost Kitty. They're all working in similar spaces, and so, right, Lovecraft is not the first or best of his own genre, but yeah.
Ali, are you ready? We must go.
Okay.
Let us go.
We must leave for Jarjaraya.
Sure. No, you shouldn't say mirages, you should definitely just say ghosts.
You hidden ones are strange. You give weapons you don't want me to use, then give me credit for your victories.
Uh-huh.
War would be bad for everyone, especially you.
That is your master's speak.
Yep.
Does it not bother you that those you obey are the same ones who make the rules demanding your obedience?
They do not control me. I am free.
Oh.
I fight so that
Basm, I've got...
Everything you do serves the hidden ones. That is a strange kind of freedom.
The hidden ones are my family. There is no contradiction.
If you say so.
Once I lived on the streets and answered only to myself. But I was not free.
Now that others tell you who you are you any freer?
You could not understand.
I understand better than you.
That bodes. Foreshadowing.
Who is he?
You seem very pleased about that.
If you are truly free, why the struggle within you?
What do you mean? There is no struggle.
I see that what you think is at war with what you feel.
Uh-huh.
You will never find truth if you are not first truthful with yourself.
Uh-huh.
No man can see what another thinks.
No normal man. But look at me. I obey no.
This is such a strange sequence. With the last of my drink. Hell hydrate. This is yes, nothing is true, everything is permitted. But also, right, like, I don't know, they really want Ali ibn Muhammad to be like this foil. But they also refuse to, like, say the words Kharajite. So they create this man who is supposedly, countervalent in his freedom to the Hidden One, but without actually referring to any of the theology that he is drawing on in order to construct that.
In Jarjaraya with the bodies.
That would be wise. People here are already angry. Things
Also-
will be worse after the burials.
Also-
There is a tea house nearby. Tea drinkers talk. You might hear something there about who is taking our men.
That's true, we do talk a
I
lot.
have my own inquiries to make. Meet me back here if you discover something.
Again, I can't really stress this enough. The Zaj Rebellion doesn't begin in Baghdad.
Probably a forger or thief. You know what those collectors are like. They would sell their own souls for a profit.
So the Zanj Rebellion doesn't start in Baghdad. It doesn't start in 864. It starts in 869.
This looks like the tea house.
And
on smallpox and measles this very evening.
remember, you don't. Theoretically, you don't drink in it, right?
This is cold. Get me another. I'm heated this time.
But also,
1,000 apologies.
exactly, right? Theoretically, in a Muslim culture, you don't drink. You still drink, but you pretend.
Just get my tea.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa, say that sentence again. You just said something wildly interesting and I missed it. Coffee just doesn't exist yet in the Caliphate. We're apparently about 500 years from Islamic coffee culture. And even then, early on, it becomes it's originally seen as like a Yemeni specific thing, right? We're Yemeni people from the south of Arabia do that, and that's it.
I overheard you mention that slaves have gone missing.
What? Who are you? How dare you talk to me? Go away!
No.
Perhaps a token will change your mind.
How dare you? What do you... Wait. How did you come by one of those?
We just
You mentioned
snitched.
French slaves have been going missing.
I don't see what it has to do with you. But yes, a stranger. One of those rebels has been disturbing the slaves.
Okay.
After he spoke with them, they disappeared. No doubt he's an acquaintance of that troublemaker, Ali ibn Muhammad. That's all I know. Now, leave before someone who matters sees me talking.
Hey, I've stabbed the most important people in the Caliphate. I matter. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. So, did they... They said Zanj slaves, but they still have not said who the Zanj are. Right? We're just going to, where... No one? Anyone? Anyone? Hello? I take back what I said. I take back what I said about this game not having a body pro. Okay, no. No. I understand. I can read social cues. I'm good at this. I know I'm not supposed to worry about it.
To go. You work, and what do you get? Nothing. Damn slaves. I treat them well. I pay them well. I feed them. And then they disappear. And no one's left to work.
He might talk, if I can sober him up. Time to sober up.
Well, oh good, it doesn't make us do it.
Enough. I'm better.
Well, he just does it.
A tea house is a dangerous place to be drinking. You could have been arrested.
I've just had a lot of trouble lately.
You said some of your slaves have gone missing.
Also, main plot acknowledgement of enslavement?
Did I? Oh, I don't remember. Not just missing. They disappeared.
People do not just disappear.
These did. Last night, 2 of mine did not come back from the fields. No one saw anything. They just disappeared. Poof.
So you thought you would get drunk in a public tea house?
Well, yeah. Oh, my head.
When was the last time we had that?
Tell anyone.
They mentioned it briefly in Valhalla, but then didn't actually show any of them. But I mentioned it. They mentioned some in AC4, you're right.
Did you want something?
Yeah.
Not here. There are too many ears. If you take my meaning.
Yeah, but there's too many ears.
Yes, Sayyidi. Our specialties are kept out the back. This way. Watch your step.
Uh-huh.
Follow me.
Cool.
Act casual.
Yep, I am the most casual. That's something only the bad Vikings. Exactly, right? Right, Eivor at the beginning of Valhalla is captured and is planning to, the goal is for her to be sold into enslavement in Dublin.
All right. It's clear.
Is it?
Well, we seem to be alone. What did you want?
Alone.
For the melodramatics.
Yep.
But you never know who's watching.
Yep,
And
alone.
Sneaking about is all rather exciting. I saw your red sash and heard you talking about missing slaves. Another has disappeared from a farmhouse near here.
How do you know of this?
I am friendly with the family. The husband was one of those executed. Now the son has gone missing as well. His mother is beside herself with worry. I thought you might be able to help her.
Tell me where this farmhouse is.
A little to the west. Slaves don't trust easily. But if you can do anything for her, I would consider it a personal favor.
I should return to Ali and tell him what I have discovered.
Okay. Do you really like the shade of green on his robe? The shade of green on his robe is very good.
Did you know I can hear what men think? You don't want to tell me, but you win.
Please don't.
Not do this.
Please stop torturing him.
Make more trouble for us.
That's a lot of blood.
Trouble than executions?
That's a lot of blood.
They slaughtered our brothers. How do you not understand?
Ali, what is this? This is not what we agreed to.
I do what must be done. I do not need your approval. Did you discover something?
Slaves are disappearing from all over Jarjaraya. One from a nearby farmhouse. I will go there and see what I can find.
Good. Our friend here has been spending his mornings at the harbor, meeting with one we think is informing for the Khalifa. You could find this informant and follow him. See where that leads.
Beshi, are you...
Loosen our friend's tongue.
This is a mistake, Ali.
Let us see.
At least Beshi is being based, because Ali was not.
And help the widow find her missing son.
That's a lot of screaming. I hate to break it to you, but torture is... But given that he seems to be actually... They seem to be implying that he's actually and fairly literally psychic. Which is... new? I don't know if it's good, but it's definitely new. Well, sort of. I guess if he's also a sage, it's not new. But if he's just a guy, it is new. Right. Yeah, but Blackbart Roberts kind of was. So I mean, right, yes, it's not something that East would be able to do before now, but like, it's all something that functionally Blackbart Roberts was able to do in AC4. Not quite as literally, but in function. Anyway. We're at almost 4 hours, so I think we may leave investigating Jarjaraya for next time. He might just be delusional. In which case he makes his correct foreshadowing very suspicious. I'm just saying. It does make it does make the fact that he is correct in his foreshadowing and has repeated all the same things the Templars have said very suspicious if he's just bad at it. Anyway, though, I think that's a good place for us to wrap up. We'll pick up with this next time and speak more explicitly and deeply about the Zanj current scholarship on the Zanj Rebellion and this place that seems to be very, very relatively weird, right? Like, quite relatively weird as far as things go in Assassin's Creed land. So that's going to be Saturday. So we'll put that on the calendars, all that jazz. If you did enjoy this, though, make sure you hit the follow button to be notified for all future historical content, and consider subscribing to help support the channel. It's been lovely to see all the support, and it is very deeply appreciated. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, besides that sure is... We sure are seeing a character do a thing in a year. So yeah, we will see you all next time, and hopefully have a happier start of stream. Oh, before we go, once again, I do want to remind folks that if you can, spare donations for the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund or any of the other UNICEF or other charitable organizations that are amassing humanitarian aid to assist folks trapped in Gaza. That would be real cool. And I think very important to do right now, right? Non-political, non-partisan, just folks amassing humanitarian aid to help those who need it. So, right, we started off the stream with that. I want to end the stream reiterating that. But yeah, with a bit of luck, we'll have some happier news by the weekend. So I will see y'all then. Thank y'all for tuning in. Until next time. Ciao. And of course, particular thanks to all of our patrons listed on the side of the screen there, and the new followers. Packet Cat, the Strategos, and the voice actor for Baz and Lima Jube. And our subscribers and gift subs for Jakista Nolan and Alex Supreme. Well, thank y'all. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day.